In the frozen silence of space, billions of miles from Earth, a machine built in the 1970s has just done something it was never designed to do. Voyager 1, the most distant object ever created by humans, did not point its sensors forward, but backward, toward us, towards the solar system, towards home. And what it found out there, what it transmitted back, left scientists uneasy, engineers baffled, and astronomers completely amazed. It's not just about the distance. It's about the fact that something in the data just sent back by Voyager 1 contradicts everything we thought we knew about space beyond our solar system. Magnetic fields, plasma waves, cosmic radiation. Everything pointed to one reality. Until now. And what's most unsettling is that this discovery didn't come from cutting-edge technology, but from a spacecraft with less computing power than an old digital clock, powered by a plutonium heart that has been winding down for decades. And yet it whispered something to us that we weren't prepared for. So what did Voyager 1 confirm? What is it about this silent signal that feels more like a warning than a measurement? It all started with a cosmic coincidence that only happens once every 176 years. The perfect alignment of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune allowed NASA to launch a probe across the solar system using gravitational assistance, a technique that shortens decades of travel. Launched in 1977, Voyager 1 was not designed to last more than a few years. But here we are, almost half a century later, and this little obsolete spacecraft is still traveling faster and farther than anything humanity has ever sent. From flybys of Saturn's moons to stunning photos of Jupiter's storms, Voyager 1 delivered some of the most iconic moments in space exploration. But nothing compares to what it faces now. Because now it's not just traveling through space, it's entering a realm we were never meant to observe. A place where the sun's influence ends, and something else begins. Voyager didn't just cross the heliopause, it disappeared into it. And what it found on the other side was far stranger than scientists had predicted. Crossing into interstellar space was supposed to be a clear transition, a sudden drop in solar wind, a shift in magnetic. But when Voyager 1 crossed that boundary in August 2012, what it detected was confusing. Yes, the density of charged particles increased, as expected, but the magnetic field remained the same. That wasn't supposed to happen. Upon leaving the heliosphere, Voyager should have detected a new magnetic direction, dominated by the galaxy, not the sun. Instead, it was like walking through a door and finding the same room on the other side. And then the whispers began. Low-frequency plasma waves, strange oscillations recorded by the instruments still functioning on Voyager, suggested pockets of energy, patterns, rhythms. They didn't sound random. They sounded organized, intentional. Some scientists proposed that Voyager never actually left the heliosphere, that perhaps the boundary is more complex, more chaotic, or even more intelligent than we thought. Years after crossing the heliopause, Voyager 1's instruments began sending back data that did not match any known profile. The background noise of the plasma began to fluctuate inexplicably. Not from nearby stars or supernovae, but from a source that seemed to mirror Voyager's own signal. It wasn't just static, it behaved like feedback. Something out there was not only receiving the signal, it was responding, but in a language of frequencies and wave patterns, not binary, not in radio. The implications were enormous. Could it be that the interstellar medium, which we always believed to be silent and empty, actually reacts to what we send out? Is it space itself that listens, or something within it? Some researchers called it resonance. Others feared something much stranger. Either way, the Voyager team knew this was no coincidence. It was new, unexplainable, and it was intensifying. And then, Voyager did something it had never done before. It stopped. For nearly 2 weeks, the data transmission became erratic, not lost, not failed, just intermittent, as if the spacecraft was being interfered with, redirected, or even reprogrammed. Some thought it was a glitch in the old software, but when the transmission resumed, the instruments had changed their focus, slightly off course, towards something else. At some point along the way, Voyager turned, not physically, but perceptually. Its sensors reoriented themselves toward a region behind it, toward the solar system, and it sent back readings we can barely interpret. Energy fluctuations, increases in particle density, as if something were awakening just behind us. Voyager 1 carries with it the famous Golden Record, a message from Earth intended for any intelligent life form that might one day cross paths with the spacecraft. Music, greetings in 55 languages, images of human life. A symbol of hope, curiosity, and trust in the unknown. But what if that message is no longer floating alone in the void? What if someone has already found it? After Voyager reoriented its instruments, NASA analysts noticed subtle changes in the electromagnetic noise around the spacecraft. Patterns emerged, some surprisingly similar to the wave modulations of the audio encoded on the Golden Record. A rhythmic sequence, a mirrored pulse, as if the message had been recognized, reflected, or even answered. NASA has not officially released what they believe is causing these anomalies, but among leaked internal reports, some scientists fear that our attempt at contact may have awakened something. We wanted someone to find it, but we never asked ourselves if that someone wanted to find us. Shortly after the spin event, Voyager's cosmic dust detector, believed to be useless at that distance, began recording unexpected impacts. Tiny particles, but too dense, too frequent, and traveling at inconsistent speeds. They weren't interstellar dust floating aimlessly. They were structured, directed, clustered. The instruments showed that these particles had exotic isotopes, some rarely found even in our galaxy. It was as if Voyager had entered a pocket of space that was not entirely natural. The data generated theories ranging from dark matter turbulence to artificial debris fields. Others dared to suggest that Voyager had grazed the edge of a dormant structure, too vast to be fully perceived. Something ancient, broken, or waiting. And then came the inexplicable. After decades of perfect flight, the spacecraft began to veer off course. Not because of thrusters, not because of gravity, but because of an invisible force. Despite being beyond the reach of any known celestial body, its path changed enough to alarm mission control. Simulations could not replicate this change without introducing an external force, electromagnetic, gravitational, or intentional. What could have the power to alter the course of a 720-kilogram spacecraft in the middle of nowhere? And more importantly, why would it want to do that? Voyager didn't just turn its gaze, it's being drawn to something. Or perhaps, it's being called back. And then, through the last functioning plasma wave sensor, something leaked through. A drop in frequency, followed by an increase in amplitude. It wasn't noise, it wasn't interference, it was a profile. One that didn't match any known celestial phenomenon. It wasn't a pulsar, it wasn't a star, it was undefined. But it had a pattern, a sequence of rises and falls that repeated, and then stopped. Some compared the signal to the rhythm of a heartbeat, others to seismic waves, but they all agreed on one thing: it was coming from behind. From the space Voyager had already traveled, from the direction it had turned. Was it a signal? A beacon? The trail of something moving slowly, invisibly, through the darkness? Whatever it is, Voyager 1, once a silent traveler, now a witness, has confirmed our deepest fear, that we are not alone. And maybe, just maybe, they've noticed us too. Voyager 1 was never designed to be a sentinel. It was a messenger, a time capsule, a gesture of curiosity launched into infinity. But now, almost 50 years later, that messenger has turned its gaze back. Not because we told it to, but because something out there has caught its attention. We used to believe that space was silent, empty, unconscious. But the data just sent back by Voyager paints a very different picture. A universe where boundaries don't behave as they should, where signals echo without origin, where invisible forces deflect machines, and perhaps destinies as well. The truth is, we never really knew what Voyager would find out there. We never imagined it would last this long, let alone look back at us, not with photos or coordinates, but with a warning wrapped in data, distortion, and silence. What now? We wait, we listen, and maybe we prepare. Because if Voyager 1 has just confirmed what we always feared, then this story is not over. It's just beginning.